Me, Delores, the pastor's daughter, and we are live, honey. We are going to be talking about discernment and how we can use discernment in our dating lives. So, hey, you guys, have you ever watched Kendra G live? She does a dating show. And I think that it's really interesting for us to kind of observe other people's behavior so that we can kind of, like get some good tips on how we can use discernment in our own lives. So I want us to watch this show together. This episode I came across last night, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I need to talk to my people about this, okay? Like we got to have a whole discussion about this because the thing is that sometimes we simply don't use discernment in our own lives. Instead, we make excuses for our behavior. We lack a little bit of self awareness, a little bit of critical thinking. We're not necessarily taking accountability and responsibility for how we are living our lives. And if we are not doing that, we will suffer the consequences of making bad decisions. Um, so I want us to take a look at this show today and just kind of see what discerning message that we can get from it. Now, if you see here, I created this little caption here, and that is for us to really think about whenever we are reviewing these videos or wherever, even if I'm talking about my father and my particular situation that I've dealt with throughout my childhood and adulthood, being the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. What we need to always make sure that we can do is take something from these situations and use them to enrich our lives, to make better decisions, to move differently if we need to move differently, take accountability if we need to take accountability for our part in any type of toxic or harmful situation that we place ourselves in or we find ourselves in. And so that's what I always want us to take away from this. Now, here you'll see that it says, what's the discerning message, right? And I call that the DMs. So, like, what's in your DMs? Okay. We always talk about people being in our DMs. So, what's in our DMs for ourselves? What kind of message can we glean from looking at other people's circumstances, other people's mistakes, and use it to enrich our lives? So, here are just a few quick tips to use while we are analyzing this situation, this particular case, right? It says take your time, think through your options, right? Then next is to consider the potential consequences. Then reflect and consider your values and what matters to you. Then next you determine which option best aligns with your goals and beliefs. And then here, finally, I have use your intuition. And when I say intuition, that's a term that is pretty much like a secular term. But what I mean here is, if you are of the faith, then use the Holy Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit will tell you that's your inner voice that says, hey, that doesn't seem right. That don't sound right. You know how the old folks used to say there's a dead cat on that line, something ain't right in the milk or something spoiled. You know how they used to say all them little old sayings, right? But it's the same thing. It's like there's an inner voice that we have that we also need to use to make better decisions. Now, the thing is you shouldn't always just trust your intuition, right? Because that may be your own inner voice, trying to tell you to do a little something wrong. Like we've had that inner voice before where it's like you got a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, and that devil's like, go ahead and get her together. Go ahead and slap her. So, like that's not the Holy Spirit telling you to do that, okay? That's your own inner voice. So that's why you have to also weigh your decisions against the facts, against observations, against your experiences, and use all of that to make a sound decision, okay? So here the final thing it says is just to gather once you've gathered all the information that you need, right? Then you should be able to make a sound decision. You should be able to determine, you should be able to make a good judgment in the situation that you find yourself in. Okay. So as you all are coming in, I'm going to play this short little video snippet so you guys, it shows you the copyright disclaimer, and just go ahead and like the video as you are coming in. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with this Kendra G show. Okay, why isn't this thing playing? Oh, it's not gonna play because it's overlay. Okay, my bad. My bad. Let's regroup. Here we go. Yes, honey. Yes. We are back. Okay. We are back and we are going to be reviewing this show, the Kendra G show. And again, I want to make it clear, okay, because I know that Kendra G does not like for people to use her content because I believe that it's because she doesn't want people talking about her guests. And I totally get it, right? So my point is not to talk about her guests. That is not what I'm trying to do. What I want to do is use these types of situations to help us to increase our discernment, right? And so discernment is simply the ability to make wise decisions and judgments based on facts, careful observations, experience, and intuition. Okay. So basically, we're using all the information that we have available to us, including what we've already experienced ourselves, what we know to be right and true, and what we know to align with who we are, what our goals are, what our values are, and make decisions based on that, but also making decisions that, help the world around us, right? So, yeah, I came across this video yesterday, and it's a young lady that I would say is, I would say that she's morbidly obese, um, among other issues that she has. But what I want us to really pay attention to as we review this show is, um, her thought process, okay? Because really, that's kind of what ends up getting us. It's our mindset and our thought process about who we are and about the decisions that we make. And sometimes we get so stuck on sticking by our decisions, even when they're wrong, or even when we know that we are not necessarily representing who we truly are, we still take on this confidence that is a bit toxic. Okay. So just keep that in mind as we are watching the show. Let's get started.
I've been watching you for the longest. My sister put me on.
Oh, I love you.
I
Okay, that's
stopped.
what y'all got to do for me. Y'all got to let me know if you can hear it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do my volume check as well. But I need you guys to make sure to let me know if you can hear everything okay. All right. Like the video.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wipe your screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. I always get it's probably a light.
It's the way the light is. Oh, because the way you want the light to be, it's like a blur, honey.
I always get it's probably a light. Maybe I should change rooms.
Okay, that's because the way you want the light to be, it's like a
I'm sorry. This is so crazy because I always request, but I never get on. So,
well, you on here now, baby girl. What's your name? Good morning. Happy Thursday. What's your name, girl?
Sabrina.
Hey, Sabrina. Where you from?
Chicago.
Come on.
Oh, I'm in Indiana, though.
Chicago, close enough. You in Gary now?
No.
Oh.
Hammond.
Okay, yeah. You down in Chicago. What's your age?
I am 38.
All right, 38. And what's your sign?
I am a Virgo.
Come on, Virgo. All right, Virgo.
I'm a whole vibe, baby.
Girl, tell me about it. You boss Sue, probably. What you do for a living, Virgo?
I am a student and I drive Lyft. I'm a hustler, baby.
Okay, you get out how you live.
I am a single mom. I provide for myself. I'm very independent.
Okay. How many kids you got?
I have one.
Okay, how old?
She is almost 16.
Okay.
She's 15. Yeah.
Nice. Let's just get to it. What kind of man you looking for?
A man that knows what he wants. Of course, I said I'm a Virgo, and Virgos to me are very lovable, and they love hard.
Y'all love real hard.
Yes. So whenever I meet somebody and date them, they're just not for me. I feel like I'm building a bear, and I'm tired of building a bear. I'm all out of that. So I'm ready to expand. Like these guys, they date different.
When you say they
really require enough these days. Like I was out of the dating scene for a while. Like guys are different. And
when was your relationship? I'm sorry to cut you off.
When was it?
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago.
What are your deal breakers, honey?
Liars, manipulators, just a guy that don't know what he wants, not driven.
And why did you?
Okay, side note, you guys. Do y'all are y'all really into? Are y'all into like the zodiac signs and stuff like that? Are y'all into that? Because like when she first came on, she said that she's a Virgo and Virgos are this particular way. You know, they're lovable or whatever. But like I don't know. I don't really know exactly why that was relevant to say. I mean, why not? Why can't she just say that I'm lovable? Like I'm a lovable person or whatever. I just don't. I don't know. I guess some people really get into the whole zodiac stuff, but I just don't like to group myself in with a whole group of people that are the same sign. Instead of just like I'm lovable, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. It just seems like that's just a better way to do it to me, but I don't know. I just want to know, are you guys really like into that? Are y'all into that zodiac stuff? Let me know, child.
Did you not get married?
He grew down. I felt like we didn't match like we did. He changed up his whole energy. It was just like we were in different places. So we agreed to separate and just be cool.
Okay.
Okay, you agree to separate and be cool. Okay, so God, Niche.
Do they have to look a certain way? Your new boo?
I don't want him to. I don't want him to be unattractive.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want a pretty boy, but I'm beautiful. I might not be the prettiest woman in the world, but I'm very.
Why she say it like that? I'm beautiful. It sounds like she doesn't really believe it.
You know what I'm saying? On that level for me. So I want him to.
What's that level for you that you're on?
A vibe, baby.
Okay.
I'm a big girl, but I'm fine, and can't nobody tell me nothing different.
Big fine.
I want a guy who, who
so he don't have to be tall, short, skinny, hefty.
This is like it already threw me off when she said, she talks about the way she looks. She doesn't really seem like she believes it. It seems like she's like kind of like just decided that that's what she's going to believe. Like she just said to herself, I'm big, but I'm beautiful. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. This is how I feel. And that's it. And which is like good-ish. Okay. It's like good-ish to be confident. But let's just continue.
I don't want him too tall because I am 4'11" and a quarter.
You're 4'11"?
Huh?
You're 4'11"?
I'm 4'11" and a quarter. Yes.
Shorty, big fine shorty.
I thought you were so much taller.
So,
okay.
like I don't want him too tall where I have to just completely look up to him. So
4'11".
Does he gotta make a certain amount of money?
no, but I do want him to be established, have a job, want more or doing better.
All right.
So
Let's do the Kendra Kim, honey.
All right.
She said she was 38, and her standards are for him to have a job and to want more. At nearly 40 years old, ma'am, he needs to actually see. This is the thing. I think a lot of times women, especially black women, we go off of potential, right? Like we say, okay, well, he has potential, but this could be like a 50, 60-year-old man. And we're talking about, well, he has potential, but when is this potential going to ever kick in? I mean, potential is really nothing when the person isn't doing anything with this so-called potential. I think potential needs to be assessed to like 25 and younger, because like you're still establishing yourself at 25 years old and younger, but your potential needs to be realized as a man. Your potential needs to be realized like 25 and up. It's like, okay, what's this potential is not really potential, is you just sitting on your abilities. And so it, like, to me, potential just goes out of the window at a certain age. It's like, come on, tap in or just tap out at this point.
Hey, back it on up.
You really caught me on the day, honey.
Back that vibe on up. Girl, you look good. Won't you back it up?
Put my shirt up because I had on the belly top, girl.
Girl, get the titties out my face.
What that is?
Come on.
Offline?
We see you, boo.
Yes.
Is that a hole?
What you get? I'm beautiful and I'm proud.
Get
Put
up.
my shirt up because I had on the belly top, girl.
Girl, get the titties out my face.
What that is?
Come on, girl. Okay, Kendra Kim.
We see you, boo.
Yes, it's a
That's what
vibe.
you get. I'm beautiful and I'm proud.
I love it.
Sis. Daughter. Sometimes I'll be like, sometimes I'll be low-key mad that everybody else had a daughter but me. Because I'll be like, if I had a daughter, I promise you, listen, she would be a whole beast. Do y'all hear me? She would be, listen, if I had a daughter, see, and this is the thing, sometimes I feel like God didn't give me a daughter because God wanted me to care for everybody else's daughters. Okay, this kind of hurts as a mother. She's 38, so I mean she's too old to be my daughter, but her mindset is that of a child. And I don't understand why, like, she has to keep saying to herself, I'm beautiful and can't nobody tell me different. I'm beautiful, and it seems like she's trying to convince herself that her weight is not an issue. And that's what it sounds more like. It's like, okay, I have to keep telling myself this because I know I'm big and everybody knows that I'm big, and that, and this is not acceptable. But I'm going to make it acceptable. I am going to accept that this is who I am and that's it. Well, on one hand, that's okay, right? Like, on one hand, you should accept and embrace yourself in every stage, and in all of the changes that you go through in life. But you should not be so accepting of behavior that is not beneficial to you. It is not helpful to you. It's not healthy for you. And I can see just from hearing what she's saying is that she's trying to convince herself, and she's trying to convince everybody who's watching her, because she knows people are going to be in the comments. They're going to talk about her weight. She's 4'11". She's morbidly obese, and she's very young. And if I'm not mistaken, she even said that she wants more children. and it's just not healthy. So let's continue.
I had on the belly top, girl.
Girl,
I mean,
get the titties out my face.
what that is?
Come on, girl. Okay, Kendra can.
Is it,
Eva.
y'all, is her shirt tied at the bottom or is that a hole? Is that tied or is that a hole, y'all? It looks like a hole to me.
Yes, it's a
That's what
vibe.
you get.
I'm like
I'm
watching it
beautiful
on a
and I'm
bigger screen
proud.
and
I
watching it
love
here.
it. As you should
Listen,
be.
I love your confidence. But let me ask you this. Do you think, and I'm going to say this as sensitive as possible, the type of guy you attract, do you think if you lost a little bit of weight, you would attract a different type of guy?
I know I have, because I have before. But no, I'm so confident. Like, I could grab any guy. I never had a problem meeting guys. The thing is, when we do get to a certain level, they don't really.
That's what she's not getting. This is a critical thinking piece of discernment that I'm trying to tell you guys about, right? Because Kendra G asks her the question. Kendra G is the one in the hat, and then she has a special guest. Her name is Just Nesh, okay? And you can see that right there on the bottom of the screen, right there, okay? So Kendra G is asking her a critical thinking question. Do you think that if you lost a little bit of weight that you would actually attract the guy that you are wanting to attract? She thinks about it, she looks up, which to me was an indication, depending on which way she looked up, that she was prepared to lie. Let's go back. Because if you guys have ever watched any body language experts or anything like that, you can tell when a person is like thinking back on something, which she could have been thinking back, but she did determine that she was really just going to lie about this. Let's listen to more.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think, and I'm going to say this as sensitive as possible, the type of guy you attract, do you think if you lost a little bit of weight, you would attract a different type of guy?
I know I have, because I have before. But no, I'm so confident. Like, I could grab any guy. I never had a problem meeting guys. The thing,
Confidence does not confidence does not enable you to attract the guy that is going to treat you right, who is going to respect you, who is going to honor you, who is going to protect you and provide for you. Having confidence does not do that. But she says she's so confident, which if we replace confidence with delusional, maybe we'd be a little more accurate there.
is when we do get to a certain level, they don't really.
Well, that's the challenge, right? I think all women, if you have a vagina, you're gonna always be able to have sex, right? Like all men tell me this. So, but it's not about just having sex. You want
really
somebody
about attracting the guy that you want. So,
right.
with
That's
the
what
guy
I'm saying.
you want, are you able to attract the guy you want?
I would date. I would date. We could go out. We could do this. We could do that. But these guys, I don't know. They turn into liars, and that's probably me because I love hard and But when I find out you lied, that's it. I'm like, that's such a deal breaker for me. Like, I don't feel like I have to settle for less.
Okay.
And I'm not going to. I'd rather be by myself. Hell, I was born by myself.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. This is what she's not realizing is when she says that she's not settling for less, that means that she is having standards for a man that she doesn't have standards for herself. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's saying that she's not going to settle for less in another person, but she's already settling for less from herself. Do y'all see what I'm saying? This is less than her best. She doesn't look her best. It's clear because she's morbidly obese. This is unhealthy. And I think that we have gotten so crazy about this whole confidence, being big and beautiful and all of that, which I agree that we should also have confidence in whatever phase and stage that we are in life. But if we are choosing to be unhealthy, choosing toxic behaviors, then that tells a person who may be interested in us that we don't make good decisions. We don't make good decisions. So why would someone else maintain this standard for us that we are not maintaining for ourselves? And this makes no sense. Hey y'all, hey Rico. Her standards are too high. Entitlement. Yes. Like, yes. I'm just trying to figure out, like, ma'am. And she has two, this is the thing, right? There are two black women who are hosting this show and asking her the questions. But these two black women are not able to penetrate. They're not able to actually get through to her. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Let's keep going.
So
So why you think you single if you vibing?
because these guys are not, they not stepping up.
What are the top
Period.
three things you think a man wants in a woman?
Uh,
Top three.
they should want confident,
They should want.
driven, and beautiful.
Okay, you got 1 out of 3 right. Top 3: beautiful is first, fit, feminine, and submissive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a problem. Because if you're not,
Yeah. 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 She said what the man wants from her is a problem though. Y'all, are y'all hearing this? Okay. Yeah, when I first started like really looking at this stuff, right? Because y'all, it's actually a lot of people who are in relationships that look at this show and they are like a lot more appreciative of their relationship because they're just like, is this what the dating scene is like right now? Oh God. Let me appreciate the man I have at home, child, because this is wild. Her mindset is wild. Let's go back because y'all, she said the problem is the guys that are in the dating pool these days. Isn't that what she said, y'all? Did you say we want? We're gonna say we want. I know that's right. Let me go back a little bit. I know that's right. Let's go back.
but it's not about just having sex. You
It's
want
really
somebody.
about attracting the guy that you want. So
Right.
with
that's
the
what I'm
guy
saying.
you want, are you able to attract the guy you want?
I would
Because
date. I would date. We could go out. We could do this. We could do that. But these guys, I don't know. They turn into liars, and that's probably me because I love hard and um.
That's another delusion. It's probably me because I love hard, right? That's one of those, those questions that they ask you in a job interview, and it says that's like, okay, well, what are your like what are your weaknesses or whatever? And she was like, well, I love hard. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is not your weakness. That you love hard. Because see, that doesn't really say that she's taking accountability. She's putting it on the guy. Like, I'm loving them. I love hard, but they are somehow not meeting the standard. The standard, by the way, that she does not even maintain for herself. Let's keep going, y'all. This is crazy.
But when I found out you lied, that's it. I'm like, that's such a deal breaker for me. Like, I don't feel like I have to settle for less.
Okay.
And I'm not going to. I'd rather be by myself. Hell, I was born by myself.
Okay.
So why you think you single if you vibing?
Because these guys are not, they not stepping up.
What are the top three things you think a man wants in a woman? Top 3.
They should want confident, driven, and beautiful.
Okay, you got
Confident, driven, beautiful. Rico said, wait, Rico, you said that's why you single. You said how you fired and dismissed so many women. What? This is really a thing? Yeah. This is really a thing. like for real, I'm in a little bit of disbelief. She said She said, what do you think a man wants from a woman? She said, they should want. You already going wrong right there. Confidence, driven, and beautiful. I gotta write that down. Confidence, which really comes off as more of a delusion in her case, because she is trying to convince herself, like she is trying to convince her and everybody's watching that she's confident. And so, because she's confident, then everything that you see, which is unhealthy behavior, which is bad decisions in men, right? You see a person who doesn't make good decisions on what she eats, how she moves in this world, like she doesn't move. And you see all of these behaviors in her. But if she says she's confident, then that's what you're supposed to believe. You're supposed to believe, even though that is not what you see. Then she says that you should want someone who is driven. What are you driven to do? What is your drive? You're not driven to move, like to move your body. You're not driven to make better decisions in who you are attracting. You're not even making better decisions on the type of date that you are allowing, because she said we can do this and we can do this and we can do this, and then they start lying. So what is this and this and this? This means that she's being physical with these men. She's giving these men her body, but there is no commitment. There is no dedication. There is no even desire that these men have of her. They're only desiring to sleep with a big woman or to sleep with a woman, period. See, men can men can have sex with anything. Anything. And a lot of them do. So to get a man to sleep with you is not a sign that you are desirable. It's not a sign that you are a good woman, that they even want you, that they will treat you right, that they will step up and be the man that you desire for them to be. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they want to sleep with you. But she could tell us she's confident, she's confident, she's confident, she's driven, and she's beautiful because she says so. But what about the person that you are trying to attract? What do they say? And let's see, because apparently it's a problem for her.
1 out of 3 right. Top 3: beautiful is first, fit, feminine. And
Problem. Listen to me.
Ooh. This ain't Kendra. I just want to know, what do you think your 3?
So she says that what the man actually wants is a problem. So that's the problem for her, is that they require things of her that she's not willing to give. She is not willing to live up to these standards of being fit, of being feminine. And I don't really think that those are crazy standards. Do y'all feel like those are crazy standards? It doesn't seem like those are crazy standards to me. I think it's what's a crazy standard is for someone to have a standard, but you say that their standards are a problem for you, but that's the type of person that you want. Let's keep going.
3 flaws are when it comes to relationships. And be
That's
honest.
not for a man.
No, your flaws. What are your flaws? You as a person with this self accountability today. Kendra said I can ask a few of my questions.
I could on my I'm self-confident. There's just stuff about me, like my health wise, that I just be sometimes I get a little lazy when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't really.
That's 2. And 1 more.
Y'all, the volume is choppy, you said? That's not my internet acting up. It's probably because your brother in there on the game, and he got he watching the show, and he in there on the game, messing up the Wi-Fi. Okay. She said that she gets bored easily, and that is one of her flaws. So again, she's putting that on the guy that she's talking about, right? Because if she says that I get bored easily, that's almost implying that this guy doesn't have the ability to keep my attention. I lose interest, and that just sounds a bit off to me. And then she says that health wise, she can be a little bit lazy. Oh, okay. Look, right. Exactly. She said, a little lazy. Hashtag denial. Like major denial. She's not taking
Oh, girl, come on.
accountability.
We all got flaws now. We got to be self
Oh,
accountable. Lazy. You could be what's the first?
um, I picked the wrong guys.
You picked the wrong guys. Okay.
Listen to
but
this,
are
y'all.
you picking the wrong guys, or are you dealing with the guys that are picking you?
I don't let guys pick me.
So you pick the guys.
I am. If I see something I want, I grab, and that's probably a me thing.
Well, that's the problem, because the guy has to pick, because that means he desires it. If you're going after a guy, you don't know if he really wants you or not. If you're the initiator,
I just feel like if a guy doesn't take to what I'm saying, then they shouldn't go forward.
How old are you, honey?
I'm 38.
She is way too old to have this same mindset, to continue down this path, y'all. This is very unhealthy. This is toxic, I would say. Because there is no way that you can have these so-called standards of a man, but his standards are a problem for you. And then it seems like every time that they try to get her to be a little more critical thinking, a little more self-aware, and they are saying it in the kindest way. Two black women are on here talking to another black woman about herself. And she's not willing to do any type of self-reflecting. In fact, she says, I don't even let the guy pick me. I pick the guy. What? What? Ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And so Kendra's trying to tell her, well, if you pick him, then, you don't even know if he really wants you. He's just, like, just, he don't want you. You want him, and that's a problem.
Do you have kids?
I have one daughter.
You're right.
Okay.
Long as he is a good provider, he take care of his kids. I don't have a problem with that. Because I love kids. I would like to have more kids.
I forgot the cousins. When was your last relationship?
She looked like a settled.
A little bit over 2 years ago was the guy I was engaged with.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you had sex?
You don't have to answer.
I would like to know.
A few weeks ago.
Okay, he's not an option.
Exactly. There will never be a shortage of men who will want to sleep with this woman. She will always be able to find someone who will sleep with her. And sometimes it's almost like a fetish, like kind of like a check off the block. Like, yeah, I had sex with a big girl, it was this one big girl. Or like just to satisfy that desire. But once the desire has been satisfied, that guy is no longer interested and never really was interested. This is very harmful behavior. And the fact that she has a 16-year-old daughter, see, that's the part that gets me, because I think about the daughter and like the standard that her mother is setting and the harmful mindset that she has. What exactly is she teaching her daughter about the guy that she entertains or who desires her or whatever? Like, what are you teaching your daughter? Are you teaching your daughter that she needs to go out and pick the man? That it doesn't matter what his standards are and what the man desires from her, but it only matters what she wants from him. She wants a guy who's going to be honest and loyal and dedicated to her, but she can't even be honest and loyal and dedicated to herself, to a healthy eating plan, to moving around. And I'm not saying that as in I'm, you know, fit and all of that. Like, you guys know I struggle with health issues. And my weight gain was a result of my health issues. But and that may be the case with her. But that doesn't need to become a delusion on her part. That doesn't need to become something that is like, well, I'm confident and can't nobody tell me different. I'm beautiful and this and that. Like, ma'am, you don't even sound like you believe it yourself. It sounds like you're trying to make us buy into your delusion of yourself. That's what it sounds like to me. Which is that, Rico? She then has to, she has to mind F herself into believing it's a real relationship and not that she's being exploited. Yes, she is settling and in denial. Exactly. And she is going to continue to get men who will exploit that. She's going to continue to. Because her mindset isn't right. She's not thinking about this critically.
He is an option, but at the same time, I'm giving him time to work on himself. And while he's doing that, I'm not going to close the doors because my king might be there somewhere. I can't close the door on that one person.
Okay.
But she won't close her legs, though. Right? So she's entertaining this man, and she just said that he doesn't have himself together. But her king may come along and she doesn't want to close the door on her king. But she won't close her legs for this other man so that if her king comes along, then she is ready and available for him. If the man that she is having intercourse with doesn't have himself together, she shouldn't be having intercourse with him. Am I wrong about this? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? But I'm thinking about this like daughter. Not that she's my daughter, but obviously she didn't get this lesson. And that is very harmful. We have women out here that are really living like this, and they are being taken advantage of and exploited because of their own mindsets, because they are not discerning. They're not thinking things through. They're not taking accountability. They are not doing any type of self-reflection, right? And they're not thinking critically. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
Why would a guy be lucky to
Exactly,
why would a
Rico.
person be lucky to be with you?
Because I'm a vibe.
Girl, ain't that much vibe in the world. Give us some real
It
shit
is,
now.
I promise. I got Virgo vibes and it's all
Virgos
over me.
are bossy and they try to control everything. So that might be
No, we have to have the last
And
say. And I
that's
think
probably
that
a problem for men. You can't have the last say if you want a man. Men
yeah,
lead.
but they want to.
Men lead. So they're not gonna be with no woman who thinks she's the boss. And that's just
I want a
honest. You
man
can ask any man in
that's
these
gonna
comments.
walk beside me. I
She
don't
won't
want to
even
be
listen.
behind him.
No, it's not
or-
that. It's man lead. And you have to listen. You
but they
can't
have
listen
to
to
give
women
me
and what you feel
reason.
like.
She's not even listening. She wants to argue the fact, right? Even though she has a woman on here that's telling her, look, that's just not how the way it goes, sis. That ain't it, sis. She wants to argue the fact. She wants to stay in this toxic mindset, and she is going to continue to attract guys who will only sleep with her. They will only get that sexual gratification, and they're going to keep it moving. But that also means that these are men who may be coming in and out of the house with her 16-year-old daughter, right? And if she is not maintaining any type of standard for herself, then that means she has low expectations and standards for a man. What type of man are you bringing into that home with your 16-year-old daughter with this type of mindset? This is dangerous.
They have to give me reason to let them be the lead.
All right, girl.
I've been leading
my
myself.
Okay, go on.
Well, I can tell this happens a lot with a lot of women because y'all been doing this for 3 years. That You are stuck in your ways. So let me ask you this.
Yeah, stuck.
Does a guy have to honor what you desire, or if not, you are okay with being by yourself?
Absolutely. I'm very okay with being by myself. I'm by myself now.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, like, I always feel like you can stick to your guns on anything if you're willing to deal with the consequence. And the consequence could be there's no man that's going to sign up for that. And if you're fine with that, then you keep on going on. But if you desire companionship in any way, then there might be certain things that you can adjust if you want said men, or you just deal with the men who are willing to deal with you. But it seems like those men you don't really like that much.
I just feel like it's worth the if I feel like it's worth the compromise, then I'll go for it. That's just me.
That might
And
be
I'm
one
not
of your flaws
right,
that you're not
but
taking accountability for.
even I definitely will take account if I feel like I'm wrong about something. I definitely will say it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. But
Ma'am,
it's just
you're
the thing that a
wrong.
lot of times
You're wrong. You're not saying it, and you're not even listening. You're wrong. You're not saying it, and you're not listening. And now she puts herself out here on a national platform with this harmful mindset, this harmful thinking, right? So then not only is she susceptible to the men who are within her own community that are crap, right? But now she's put herself out there for the world to see. And trust me, you guys, she is going to have people in her inbox. I mean, there will be people who will message her, who will, do all the things to sleep with her, to get whatever they can from her. Maybe she probably even, like, she gives me the vibe of someone who even will take care of a man, and like, I'm just helping him build himself up and get on his feet and all of this stuff. But really, you are enabling bad behavior. You're accepting someone who is not established, does not have themselves together. So you are really just inviting your own counterpart. You're inviting the person who is just like you, just like her. And what type of man will that be that she actually brings around her 16-year-old daughter?
I'm right.
Girl,
Yes.
I agree. You got the bad dog. Okay.
Oh,
But no,
God.
I'm just playing. That's what Kevin said. Did we have anything else?
No, that's it. So get her Instagram
Okay.
page.
Well, you definitely a vibe, girl. Give us how to reach you. You said
You did that. No, just give the guy how they can reach
how
you.
they can reach you. IG.
My Instagram is Foxy Brown Eyes 32. That's FOXXYBROWNEYES 32.
Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna just screen this. Sometimes I
And
screen.
please don't come in my DM with DS because I'm not on it. I'm gonna shut you down real fast.
She shut
Thank
niggas
you.
down. Period. Don't play with her. She a vibe. All right, girl. Thank
I
you.
came natural.
Bye,
No makeup, no filters, nothing. What you see is what you get until I get extra cute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, bitch. I love y'all.
I love you too.
Bye.
So I have to go, but I will say this was Nisha. She gets calls on Facebook.
Yeah, you let that lady take all my first time with the update. That wasn't even an update. I didn't even get to interview nobody.
But you did on Facebook. You'll be back another time.
Listen to
But I
this,
want to say
y'all.
this. I want to bring this up because although I wasn't the biggest fan, I'm not a hater. And Niche says that she has been watching. Y'all always talking about Kevin Samuels.
That man ain't lied once, and I don't care how harsh he is. He ain't lied. Women don't like to hear the truth. That lady knows she needs to lose weight, and she's beating all around the bush. We're talking real stuff. You are. There's a lot of people who are overweight, but then it's like, come on, we're gonna be for real. I need to lose weight, and I know that. But you talk about standards and vibes, and when I asked what's the top 3 things men want, she talking about confidence. No, what kind of confidence you? I was talking about men. So I just feel like women don't like to hear the truth all the time, and sometimes when somebody tell us that, we have a problem with it. But yes, that was all my 2 cents. And she don't like to listen. So you overweight and you don't like to listen. So
her spirit was beautiful, but y'all told her the truth.
Yeah.
You can't come with all that. Come on, man. Oh, I don't like to listen. I ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This man ain't. Come on, man. That's why you single.
you have an attitude. You bossy. You big.
and back and big backed it.
You stop it. We won't call it big back.
Not big back,
I
but
think not
I'm
because
big. But I know that.
But Nisha has been watching a lot of Kevin Samuels.
But I also know that I'm overweight. So
And
let's
what
just call a
I
spade
tell y'all,
spade.
But
I tell y'all all the time, I'm not
but you walking your weight. I feel like you're not. You don't.
But
That
also, I'm aware that I need to lose weight too. I'm not gonna be like I'm a vibe and I'm bossy. Like,
and you always have a man though, Nish.
yeah, that's not the point I'm making.
Niche keep
You
it.
always have a man.
The point I'm making is I understand what men are looking for in women. I feel like a lot of us don't. They don't care about certain things that we think they care about. And I feel like once we're more aware of that, then we'll be better able to find a man. If you think a man care about education and money and confidence, you're wrong. And you can ask men that. Don't listen to me. Ask Zach. Ask the man. Ask the neighbor.
If I say it, I'm harsh.
Well, hold on. I want to jump in because one person said I'm uncomfortable with the conversation. One thing I don't want to do, I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to bash. Like I mean,
I'm not trying to bash nobody.
Yeah. It's not that I'm uncomfortable with the conversation. My goal, honestly, whether y'all think it or not, I never want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I do want to enlighten so we can see the difference of what you desire. I'm a person, this is how I am in life. I'm a results person, right? So I'm all about what do you want?
Yeah.
What is the way to get the result? Now here's the deal. If you want a set guy and that's what you want, then you have to be willing to do the things for that set guy, or you deal with the men that take you as you are and go on with life. What happens is, what I've noticed is, and this doesn't just go for women, this goes for men too. You want something that doesn't want you back, and you focus on that, opposed to the pool of people that want you and figure out a way to be happy. Now, I always say this, there's not one pool, and I love the Lori Harvey analogy because she would say the pool is crystal clear with millionaires, right? That's the pool she lives in. So it's really this. If you feel like you're in a pool of piss, the question is, how do I get out of this pool that's filled with piss? What do I have to do in bettering myself to be in a different circumstance? And that's all that I really, and I want to give that again to men too, because we focus on a lot of times of the women. This is what I don't like, because I get men that come on my show that need that same lesson and they don't get it. Now the rules are different. Women, you got to be beautiful. Men got to have money.
Men be broke. Men be broke. And then talking about, oh, I want this submissive woman that ain't gonna do this and listen to everything I say after she done put in 16
You talking about a broke man?
Yeah, you broke. You can't ask for that. You can't ask for that. Yeah. If she going half on the rent, you can't ask for that. Am I flagging or something?
You just have to be able to know where you stand and what you want. Yes. So, and it should be balanced, I think.
Hey, Kendra, real quick.
Sir, I said.
I've been watching you for the longest.
Okay. What y'all think of that? Like, what did y'all think of that? Here's the thing. What is the discerning message in all of this? Like, what is the discerning message? I agree. Okay, so this was my take on the whole Kevin Samuels thing, right? Because I think I found him like just when everybody else did, when he did that average at best thing, and then of course, I went down the whole rabbit hole, went back in videos, watched videos, and that whole thing. And I actually thought about doing a video at the time, but because everything was so controversial dealing with him, I didn't want to like jump on that whole train and, attract the wrong people like to my channel or anything like that. But my stance on it was, I don't feel like women should listen to him until they heal from their daddy issues. And I think that so many of us have daddy issues that it is hard for us to really take on or really like hear and receive information when it comes to dating men. I think, and for me, this was like a real big thing. I say this, and I even think I wrote this in my book, that I was successful in every area of my life, right? You guys know I have issues with my father, right? But my father was in the home. He never left, right? He was present. But I still have issues because my father did not necessarily give me the healthiest advice when it comes to men. He did not demonstrate healthy behavior and stuff like that, the way he treated my mother and stuff like that. So I saw some things that were not good, right? And I know that I have daddy issues, well, that I've worked through, but I still, say that they're daddy issues because I still see things that I have to continuously work on, things that were kind of like taught to me and kind of ingrained that, kind of present themselves as problems in my current relationship, right? So my whole stance was like, women should not listen to Kevin Samuels until they heal from their daddy issues, because you're never going to be able to hear what he's actually saying or hear any good nuggets from him, because you're going to be coming from a place of pain when it's talking about men. And so in every other area of my life, I'm telling you, like, my careers was successful. I have multiple degrees, all of that stuff. But where my daddy issues always manifested themselves was in my relationships with men. And that included my relationships with my sons and relationships in men that I dated. And I didn't always make the best decisions. In fact, if you guys know my story, you know that I've been married 4 times, right? And I finally have my forever husband, right? This is a healthy and thriving relationship that I have now, but I wouldn't have been able to have that had I not went to therapy and started to really like dig into my daddy issues. Nor could I have been one that would hear the things that Kevin Samuel says and really be able to take whatever good nuggets from what he was saying and apply it to my life. Now, I am one of those ones that I'm married, so I really didn't have any business or, any need to listen to Kevin Samuels anyway, right? Because I'm already married. But I'm one of those married people that listened to him and was like, you know what, he is right about that. And let me go ahead and make some changes in my marriage. I'm one of those kind, where I was like, yeah, some of it is a bit harmful, a little bit toxic of what he's saying, but he is putting out some good nuggets, and it is making me look at things a little bit differently. And it did, in my opinion, change a little bit of my mindset, even in my current marriage. So, I'm one of those ones that, I can hear what a person says. I have discernment, so I can hear what he says and discern the good from the bad and take what I want from it and leave the rest. But not everybody can do that. And so what my recommendation was is like, hey, go and heal first. Then you can think about, being in a relationship and having a successful relationship with a man. Once you heal from your daddy issues, you can't even really hear what a man has to say, really, unless you heal from your daddy issues. And I would venture to say that this young lady has daddy issues herself. She doesn't even want to hear what a man desires. She doesn't want to hear any of that piece of it. It's almost like he is there to serve her and to boost her self-esteem and her confidence and whatever she feels like she needs within herself, but not necessarily that she's going to reciprocate that in her relationship. And that's extremely toxic. That is not healthy. And so, like, what are you guys discerning? Like, what is a discerning message that you are getting from hearing her story? I think her name was Ivy, 38 years old. She has a 16-year-old daughter, and she's looking to date, but she's not necessarily of the right mindset that is really going to attract the type of man that she says she wants. So what y'all think about that? What's the discerning message that y'all got from that? Look, y'all, I got my little graphics and stuff. What's the discerning message? What's the DM, y'all? What's the DMs? What's in your DMs? Y'all know I be so extra, right? Yes, honey. Look. Oh no, look at this. I was I was in here jamming y'all, okay? So what y'all think? What's the discerning message that y'all are getting from this? I want to hear from y'all. It looks like she needs a lot of self-awareness. She needs to really think critically about what she wants and what she needs to do to track what she wants. But more than anything, she needs to think about that daughter of hers. She needs to think about that daughter. That's the discerning message that I'm getting, is that, ma'am, you got a daughter who is looking at you. Is this the standard that you have set for your daughter? Is this the advice that you've given your daughter? That's what I want to know. Because she's 38 years old. I mean, do what you want to do. But your daughter is just now getting started. She's just now of the age to really date, right? So now she's trying to figure out what she wants in a mate or a partner or whatever, a boyfriend. So is this toxic mindset and this toxic behavior something that she is teaching to her daughters? And in this day and time, you guys, we have to teach our daughters to discern, to be able to make wise decisions when it comes to who they are partnering with. There is a lot of toxicity in these relationships. You guys see, okay, now granted, I used to probably stay on the phone. Y'all know back when we had like them landlines, right? We probably used to stay on the phone, fall asleep on the phone, all that stuff. But these kids these days, they are, I don't know, it seemed like they are always on the phone with each other. They're always on FaceTime. They're all like, my son, even I've seen them like sleep with like their phone next to them and their girlfriend is on the phone, and then I don't know, to me it's a little bit weird. Just a teach. But I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of toxicity going on in these young people's relationships, and like they actually glorify it, right? They want people who are a little toxic, you know, they're attracted to that now. And you have a lot of relationship violence that is going on in these young people's relationships. You have a lot of emotional abuse, right? Isolation. You have people who are trying to isolate their boyfriend or girlfriend from their other friends and monopolize their time and all of that. And that type of behavior like needs to be addressed from their parents. It needs to be addressed by the parents. But how can a parent, let's say like her, how can she address any type of toxic relationship or any type of toxic behaviors that is happening with her daughter when she has this harmful mindset herself? So I'm just saying, y'all, we have got to, thank you, yes, learn humility. You can tell she wasn't, child, okay. She was not. That is a good lesson. That, ma'am, you gotta be able to do some self-evaluation. You gotta look within, determine if this is what I want, how do I get what I want? Right? How do I be what I want? Because she's not even what she wants. She doesn't exemplify the person that she desires. She's not even interested in exemplifying the person that she desires, what they desire. She doesn't care. It doesn't matter what they want. And that's a problem. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do we plan on having successful relationships and healthy relationships when we carry on this toxic mindset and can't nobody tell us nothing about it? And nobody tell us any different. She got two black women on there talking to her like, ma'am, like, sis, I hear what you're saying. I hear your confidence and I love the confidence. That's great. But let's keep it real here. And if you're so stuck in your ways and you're so confident and you're so driven and you're so, what did she say? Beautiful, that can't nobody tell you about yourself. Yeah. She overcompensating. For sure. For sure. Overcompensating for her self-conscious, for, yeah, almost self. Yeah, it is. And especially because she knows what she's going to attract, because she's going to continue to attract what she's attracting. But now that she was on a national platform, she is going to be attracting more of what she doesn't want. Child, she gonna have men from she gonna have men trying to get green cards and everything else all in her inbox. Child, that is not what you want, sis. You don't want to attract a man who's just going to use you because he knows that your standards are low. Because you have absolutely no standards for yourself. We got to teach our daughters to learn to discern, you guys. So, with that being said, I would love for you to join our discernment community. Okay. It's called the Kingdom Code. Okay. Look, I got to do it like this, like, like I made it appear or something, right? You see, like the little light goes around. So it's called the Kingdom Code, and this is a community of discerners, right? That's what code stands for. It's community of discerners everywhere. And these are people who just like, we just want to have the conversations, right? So that we can make better decisions. We want to analyze different things that are going on in our world. We talk about religion, we talk about spirituality, we talk about relationships, we talk about our health, we talk about everything, because we should be using discernment in every area of our lives, right? I mean, why not? The principle applies to every area of your life. If you're making wise decisions based on facts, based on careful observation, based on experience, based on intuition, how does that not apply to your finances? How does that not apply to your health? How does that not apply to beauty? How does that not apply to your faith and spirituality? It applies to everything. Everything. So once you learn the skills, then you use them in every area of your life, right? So right now, what you'll find on the Kingdom Code app is my exclusive audiobook, and I am currently uploading more and more information on how you can use your discernment to identify spiritual abuse, to identify when you're in a toxic relationship, and how to get out of it, right? Because you need to use your discernment in how you get out of these relationships too. There are people dying every day. And in the Black community, there are women dying at a rate of every 5 hours, you guys. Okay? And that tells me that we are not using our discernment on both sides, male and female. We are not using our discernment. Okay? So there is a need for us to be a discerning community and a discerning society. So how are we able to do that? We have to learn. We have to activate our discernment. It's there, but are we using it? Do we know how to use it? How do we apply it to every area of our lives? We don't know that. Sure, we hear people say, hey, use your discernment, but what does that mean? What are the action steps? How do we do it? And that's what you'll be able to get over on the Kingdom Code, okay? So I need you guys to go ahead and join the Kingdom Code. You don't have to purchase the audiobook right now. In fact, the app is free. It's also available in the Google Play Store. So you can actually download the app on your phone if you have an Android phone, and join the community. It is a growing community. So right now, it's not nearly as grand and as vast of information on there as it's gonna be. But you guys can get in right at the beginning of it, right when it's just getting started, and be one of the OGs, okay? Be one of the ODs, the original discerners, okay? Hey! look, won't he do it? Won't he do it, you guys? He will. Yes, he will. He did it. He always does. God always comes through. Okay. So if you don't mind, go ahead and join that community. And I am going to, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button. Oh, yep. You said it, Rico. Having children by people who abuse, sabotage, or even kill those children. That's why it's important to be discerning. Shamir, why I gotta be extra, sis? Why I gotta be extra? I told the people when I first got started that I'm a little extra, I'm a little silly, okay? But for some reason, the folks don't want to believe me, okay? Listen, they gonna learn. They gonna learn. Okay. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Please, okay, please hit the like button on your way out. And just know that I love you guys and you are important to me. I need you to survive. Bye bye for now.